Okay, we'll start off with Berry flood hazard mitigation.
Morning, Prob.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Good morning, Town of Shelter Island. I hope everyone's doing all right.
Yes.
Okay, I have some updates for you here. I met with and spoke with the town attorney last week about the appendix contract modification, and he's going to send you some notes, Prob, on a proposal for implementation. He had some points to make, and I think he just wanted to get buy-in from your team before delivering to the consultant, so you should be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, we're on our way to resolving that. The other news is that I spoke with the consultant, and they are having some scheduling challenges. So I wanted to talk with you about updating the schedule. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to present to the town before the end of the year on their findings. So we don't have to resolve this now, but I would like to reconnect with you about scheduling out the rest of the project based on their availability. I was surprised that they were so backed up, but that's I guess their position on the rest of their scope for this project.
Okay, what and how much longer would they need, or how far and back would this push the schedule?
I think they wouldn't be able to pick up the project again until in the new year, and then it's unclear to me exactly how much resource they could allocate to it and how quickly they could move. But I have a follow-up call with them next week where I should be able to have all of that information. So I present that to you in its totality once I have it, and then you and I can discuss the implications, if any, on our contract and relationship between the town and Dishes.
Sounds good. Is this like revisions to the draft scoping report, or is this still like a portion of the report still needs to be completed?
It's the final. We're in the final design stage, and that's the last. So there's no changes to the scope. It's just simply about closing out the existing scope. We've done their analysis. We're at the stage where they need to develop the repair drawings for the slated recommendations, and that's where they're having their own resourcing challenges with drafting, and that's the part that is going to drift into the new year. So there's no change to our contract in terms of scoping. It's just about scheduling.
Okay, now if we do push it to the new year, we will be kind of cutting it close to the period of performance. So is that something that you see would be a concern, Joe?
That's what I'm hoping to touch back with you on next week and work to finalize. If their feedback is that this might be something they could do in a few weeks and they could be fully allocated to it, then I'd have less concern about that. But if they're suggesting, oh, this might go into the spring and there's uncertainty, I wanted to get on your radar about that to understand what the implications might be, or if we needed to make any preparations for it.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So Joe, I'll just keep me looped in on that. If need be, we can coordinate on a period of performance extension, similar to how we did last year. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind. But thank you for flagging the schedule risk. I appreciate that.
Okay, very good. So I'll plan to be in touch with you by the end of next week.
Understood. And in terms of the financial standing of the project, I know that on the last quarterly report, we had indicated that total funds expended have been 52,282. The executed subcontract with LKMA that Dishes has on file shows that the lump sum fee for the project is 160,200. I just wanted to touch base, see is that still what the budget is? Were there any changes to that subcontract with LKMA? Is that what the project
they believe they're on track, and that's the resource and conflict that we're approaching. Is to develop the repair designs is sort of a surge of resources to develop the drawings and finish the calculations. So they believe that they are on track for budget. It's just the schedule that they're uncertain about.
Okay. So I mean, I think that brings me to my next question. If they're on track for their $160,000 budget, then this project will have an underrun of approximately, yeah, because this project was awarded for a total of 213,400 with a federal share of 192,060.
Oh, yeah,
So if that is the case, then moving forward on the quarterly reports, we should be flagging that it's going to be an underrun
okay.
and like what the anticipated underrun will be. If there are any other tasks that for the project that LKMA is not doing like that vendor, but another vendor would be required for that, that would be incorporated into the final cost, but
No,
we can
they're the
flag
only consultant, right? Okay, so when you say underrun, I thought you meant with respect to their contract only. So they are on pace for their contract expenditures, but their contract is less than what the contracted grant award is with the town.
accurate, perfect. Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
understood. Yeah, so that I'd feel more comfortable making a statement about, but I would prefer to just touch base with them once more before I took any action on those cost adjustments.
Sounds good. Um, and then that brings me to my next question, budgetary. Are there any pending requests for reimbursements for dishes to review and process? I think last time we spoke on our October check-in, there had been 2,700 in expenditures thus far. And then I know the town was waiting for additional invoices, but if LKMA is pushing off the work, let me know what works best for the town and we'll support as needed.
Think we'll get any more before the end of the year. Invoices from them.
Probably not meaningful, but I don't see the invoices when they come in, so I'm not sure if there are any. I think they bill us monthly.
Yeah, they do bill monthly. They didn't bill us anything last month.
Okay, so then there wouldn't be anything in the pipeline.
I'll probably submit that just before the end of the year though, just to.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Whenever you have that ready, send that forward. And then we do have $10,670 available for this project in subrecipient management costs. So that'll be like a lot of the indirect project costs that a lot of the items that Jen assists with quarterly progress reporting, check-ins with dishes, or reimbursement report processing, things like that. And if you want to discuss processing on that, we can. The only condition for that is it's only going to be 5% of the total project cost. So if we only have 50,000 spent so far, I can only reimburse up to 5% of that for management cost purposes. So that may be something that if the town wants to wait, we could. But the only item I do want to flag is that, there does need to be backup documentation. So whether it's going to be an invoice or if it's going to be forced account labor, it does need to be tracked. So if we can get ahead of that, because sometimes I've noticed that, we'll get to close out and then it may be a bit of a struggle to kind of have all that information readily available. So I did want to flag that for the team ahead of closeout.
Okay, so from those costs, we can pull in Jen's consulting fees and we can also pull some of Joe's hours.
Yes, if they're both doing like indirect project costs, like and cohesively, then it would be both. For Joe, since his would be more in-kind labor, then that's going to be forced account labor, where we need his salary, his fringe benefit rate, the hours and days worked, and then just supporting document would just be like the paycheck number or whatever EFT number is used to pay him. And then for Jen, if it is via a vendor subcontract, then it would just be similar to how we do our normal reimbursements. Jen cuts an invoice, the town pays that and then provides that proof of payment along with the invoice and contract cost record form. So the contractual cost is a bit more straightforward. Forced account labor, we do need the salary and fringe benefit rates. And of course, if the rates do change over the year, that is one item that I've noticed for other projects that can be sometimes an issue because then it's not the same rate. If there is like a automatic bump every year or every 6 months, some municipalities do it differently.
Okay. All right, yeah, I think we'll try and get that in with this next reimbursement request then. And that way, if we have any issues with the submission, we have time to correct it.
Perfect. Yeah, and if there's any drafts, anything like that that you'd like me to review, I'm also happy to do that. Just so that, before we get final signatures or anything like that, we can have that prepared.
All right, good. Thank you for mentioning that.
Awesome. Awesome. And all right, well, I guess Joe, you mentioned that the vendor will be a little low on bandwidth, but the offer still stands. You know, if the consultant needs any BCA technical assistance, you know, please let Dishes know, and we'll be happy to set up like a one-off call where they can speak. We can have our BCA specialist and the consultant speak directly. We can have some individuals from the town listen in as well. Joe, I think you probably want to be on it, but yeah, let us know. The offer still stands, and when you're at that point, we can schedule that.
Okay, thank you, Prab.
All right, my pleasure. That's all I had on my side. Any support needs from Dishes? Any questions, team?
Nope.
No? All right, awesome. And then our next scheduled check-in, I do have one on the calendar I see for December 2nd, and then yeah, I believe that's the next one. Is that, and then yeah, next is February, I believe.
That sounds right. Let me just double check.
Yes.
You got that?
10
Second.
o'clock, yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, so it'll be the second.
All right, awesome. All right, well, touch base December 2nd, 10 a.m. The next quarterly report is going to be due at the end of December. Well, the reporting period ends on the 31st, and then it's due to Dishes on January 15th. I'll provide a friendly reminder on our next monthly check-in. And that's all. Thank you so much, team.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. All right, next, Jen's report, just in case you're time crunched.
Thanks. So I'll give some quick updates today. We did receive one grant award notice in the last few weeks for the DEC food waste reduction grant program. That's $14,232. We've started the contract development process, but we can't start work until the DEC gets all of their internal approvals from the comptroller's office. And that project is a cooperative effort with Sylvester Manor to collect food waste from different locations in the town that would then be processed at the farm.
What was the dollar amount on that?
14,232.
Thank you.
And the match consists entirely of in-kind effort by the town and the farm. So we've already started talking about the ways that we can document the effort, so that the matching share amount is $4,744.
Isn't a report, Emma?
It is okay.
And on the grant development side, we have 2 applications in process right now. One is for the New York State DEC Invasive Species Program. I was asked to connect with Tim Pertel to talk about project ideas. I'm speaking with him later this morning to see what he has, and I'll report back to this committee. We are also working on renewal funding for the DOT 5310 grant for the Senior Center Transportation Program. Christina, I know you just wrapped up one of those tasks this morning, so thank you so much for that. And I'm working with Kelly to finalize the application. And I know we have an award ceiling of $35,000 over a 2-year period to offset cost at the transportation center. So I will share more details on that as we pull together the final application for the deadline December 5.
We have a special town board meeting today, and then our next one is December 1st. So if we'll need a resolution for that, so that we can get that adopted on December 1st.
We have a reso from one of the last meetings that authorized a submittal of up to $35,000 for the request. So unless the award amount is going to change, I think we're in good shape.
Okay, all right. I'm starting flat-footed today. I was away last week and I got sick, so
Totally
my
understood.
brain is not working 100% yet.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Let's see, what else do we have? We have our moving on to grant administration. Excuse me. We have our 2 awards for Fresh Pond, one with the state and one with the county. Both of those are still going through the process with the respective agencies that have to generate a contract. Joe, I believe the state had some clarifying questions on the permitting process, and I know that UMPO will be connecting with them in the coming week or two to hammer out those issues.
Yes, I sent some suggestions for dates next week. Jen, when do you think that will get resolved? Are we in uncharted territory here with the
Yeah.
environmental questions that they're asking?
Uncharted. I've never seen the DEC come back, to ask more questions on the permitting side. And I think it's because this project is a bit unique in its use of technology that they'd like to just understand it a little bit better.
Okay.
So I think, it's hard to estimate the timeline, not knowing what the technical people, will have to say after they connect with UMPO. Moving on, we have our EPA award. I think we're still just pending the town's decision on how to proceed with that project, and what format that project will take. And we are going, okay, and for the current 5310 grant award the town has, I know we had the successful audit a couple of months ago with New York State, and the team that was involved in that will be debriefing on some of the discussion that occurred around ways that the town can optimize use of those funds. So I'll be reaching out to set up that meeting in the coming weeks, probably after the holiday at this point. And that's really it for me, unless anybody has questions.
So on the surveys we did on West Neck and Rem Allen Road, what was the funding source for that?
Capital.
Yeah, house money, so to speak.
Yeah, I didn't know if that fell under Jen. I couldn't recall the funding source for that.
Okay,
Great. Thanks, everybody.
thank you.
Should I stay on or should I?
No, I think the rest of the discussion is going to be on the community development block grant.
Just in the 2026 budget, was there any money allocated to capital projects?
It's the radius.
So how much? Do you remember? 50,000?
I think it was 50. Yeah, I think it was 50.
All right, so just to make Jen aware that we have no funding allocations for.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's not really Jen's role, though.
Well, because sometimes it's a 75-25. If there's no 25,
Right.
then
We do have in capital funds left over from cell tower money, about 119,000 that we could always tap into if we needed.
yeah. Yep.
And we also have 300,000 if we have 100% reimbursable grant that we can use to pre for something.
Right.
Get reimbursed later.
Yep.
We've done that before.
Oh, on that point, I have one other update to share with the group. The state offers their records management grants once a year. That funding sources generally announces opportunities around December with deadline around March or so. So just keep that in mind as well for any records management projects that are coming up for the new town clerk.
Can it be retroactive?
What's that?
Can it be retroactively applied?
No.
Retroactive.
No. It's all moved forward.
Attractive.
Okay.
Like, no, I didn't know if you were trying to pull it back, like we don't want to do it.
No, we made a purchase this year that,
Anyways, with the issue.
But we can talk more. That grant is through the New York State Archives. And the New York State Archives has very strong feelings about how records management programs are operated. So it's usually a good idea to have a consultation with them, present your records management program, request their feedback, and then shape your grant request to respond to their feedback. So we can talk more offline about that, Shelby.
Thank you.
That's it for me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes, you too.
Take care.
Thanks, Jen, you too.
Jen,
Community Development Block Grant. We need to discuss this at the work session today, so we need to come up with a plan.
not just a work session, we need to draft resolution on the fly.
Yeah.
We're special.
So we had two projects that we're looking at, police headquarters. Joe, I think you were gonna work on pricing for that, and then you were gonna work on the Legion Hall elevator quotes.
I have sort of a preliminary, but I don't think the funding is gonna cover it.
How much is it?
Well, based on what I know from the other guy, the guy that could do it is the guy that gave me one of the estimates for Goat Hill and gave me sort of a broad spectrum on just doing what we did at Goat Hill, which is probably a third of what this is gonna be.
Mhm.
And it would be like $45,000 to do that. So
Mhm.
this is gonna be more like 100, I think. That's just, and that's not even him, I mean, that's just the elevator piece. That's not even whatever we have to do over there. So
What's the dollar amount?
I think we only have 70,000.
Yeah,
right?
70,000 of which.
So maybe that's where you use monies that you have budgeted in 2026 to pick up the other 30, because that's a project that we've been sitting on. So I don't know if you have public works funding. I mean, always go back to Goat Hill. I know you hate it, but if we can find 70 to move into Goat Hill in a given year, why couldn't we find 30 to move to that
Also,
as a concept?
and I'm also wondering, because we have a little bit more, Barbara said, I think for Goat Hill, because we didn't expend everything in one of the things. Let me just see if I have the notes on that. Which I was surprised that they let us carry it over. Oh, do you have?
You mean for the current thing that we're trying to do over Goat Hill right now?
Mm-hmm.
We have more there.
Yeah, we have 69,000. I think because we had leftover on the design work for the ADA stuff,
Right.
because originally I had 60,000 for Goat Hill. Now I have,
69.
am I looking at the wrong year?
No, I think we have about 60 for Goat Hill is what I understand for this.
Yeah, oh, plus $450, it wasn't that
What
big.
else is on?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
This shit does.
Well, it's gonna be
The very
podcast.
number is gonna be broadcasted, so what would you say?
Oh, you're recording everything? Okay.
Yeah, so we have 60,450, so they did let us roll over $450 that wasn't spent on the ADA design. So if you think Goat Hill might come under budget,
I'm not sure.
Mhm.
What's your take, Joe?
I like the Legion project.
I do too, because I'm not saying I wouldn't mind piecemealing the PD project, but I don't know that we're gonna be able to come up with some concept
Mhm.
for today's work session.
Mhm.
And I feel like you might be a little closer on the
I feel like-
Legion, and the use of that building is tremendous.
That's why my,
We're using it more.
Yeah.
that's my position. The police department, scope downstairs is on our priority list for ADA upgrades, but it's not one that meaningfully impacts our, exactly. It's very, very limited.
I agree with you.
So is there money separate for, what's the money for PD? It's also.
You know, we're
We're just looking at this pile.
It's
Oh,
this
at this-
or that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, the PD.
Oh,
made
it's
it-
this or that, I agree with you, I think, because I think PD, quite frankly, is a bigger, I think it's a bigger ask, because I think you're gonna, You're talking about
When-
opening up this concrete and the masonry work over there just to make a door is not gonna be as simple as what we could.
In terms of impact at the police department, the upstairs work, which is substantially more expensive, is far more impactful to the community than the downstairs work. But we're not at,
100%, because you're talking about the rare one-offs that we have, you know, somebody down in that. Obviously, the priority of that building is the upstairs where the public's in and out all the time. The downstairs is really limited to accessibility during rare one-offs. So I, as a committee, this committee member would absolutely support that.
That's fine with me.
Mhm.
I think it's better too. I just
I
want,
agree.
I just want to make sure we have the money.
Right,
Because
and-
I think it's gonna exceed $60,000. That's what I'm just saying.
100%, but with some.
But how much, I can't really speak to just this second.
but that's a fair point. If it's over, it's not over by another 60.
Right, and maybe there's ability to use some budgeted funding in 2026 to offset that limitation, because that building is really used a lot lately.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd love to do it.
Could ask the Legion. Do they have any funds?
Mhm.
We could too.
That could be another offset.
Yeah, because the Legion is focused on it, the Ladies Auxiliary is focused on it. We have some ideas for some fundraising to do on that.
Sure.
What do you need for today's session?
Pick a project,
What about the top lot? Does that have to be an ADA? Are we locked in on that? Because the other project that we've been
No,
kicking
no.
around is the top lot.
it's not locked in at this point, like, we will lock it in by.
I would say this,
Today.
I'd say the Legion is a better project than the top.
Describe the project again.
Where, at the top lot or the
No,
Legion?
at the Legion.
So it would be to put an elevator / lift system inside the building. The idea would be to put it in the location where you enter the building from the west side, that handicap door that's there already, where they currently have one of the chair lifts that you sit on and takes you down the stairs. So I would anticipate that area could be utilized for an actual lift to, whether it be, it doesn't have to be enclosed, obviously, because it's inside, but you have to find the mechanicals in it to get a person into it and down. So I envision us eliminating a staircase in there and creating the chute for it. And then you maybe still have the staircase access upstairs. Because there's 2 stairs as you come in that door, there's a small staircase up to the main floor of the community center, and there's a staircase that goes down. So I anticipate you'd probably have to structure it somehow inside. I mean, it needs to be looked at by an engineer specifically. That's where I anticipate it. It's the only option for us it's the only option to get inside the building with it.
Well, because it's a little raw, that's why I suggested the tot lot also. We've had vocal members of the communities express support, $70,000, perhaps as much as 50% of what we were thinking the cost would be over there. There's an ADA angle to that in terms of kids access or even adult access to the site. And we have a pretty good handle on what those costs are and the ability to control them through the design process. So if for instance, we were to receive 70,000 in support, the community could come up with another 50 or 60 or 70. We can refine the cost of the project with the equipment manufacturer to make sure that we meet the budget, whereas a project like the Legion is going to cost, we're at risk for overages, if that makes sense.
But Joe, I think our deficit in the tot lot would exceed our scope as opposed to this elevator.
Definitely, but we have willing partners to make up the difference. They don't have the money necessarily, but it's something that they've been vocal about as coming to the table with. And this money's, is there an immediate expiration on when it has to be spent?
No, I'm just trying to see if Barbara's available to come in, because she's got all of it. The project description forms are due December 1st. The county doesn't award the final monies until the spring sometime, and contracts don't get generated until August. And usually the program year begins in September.
So there
And
would,
you've got like September
Yeah.
through like the following.
Yeah, I think both projects are meaningful. I pushed the tot lot because it offers us different, it relieves us of some of those budgeting constraints that we might be opposed to at the Legion. It has more of a blank slate and flexibility to drive the project as funds would allow, whereas the Legion is, once you start, it costs what it costs, and there might be some.
Is there a fire code that mandates 2 points of egress from the basement?
At the Legion?
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a read question.
What were the 2 points, if we
Yeah.
remove a
You've got the,
staircase,
if you've got the existing main entrance in,
Yeah.
and then in the kitchen,
there's another
there's
one.
another stairway that goes upstairs.
Right.
So Barbara, we're on the CDBG project, obviously.
Okay.
And we're talking about the Legion. We've taken the police department downstairs access off the table for now.
Okay, so now we're back to the Legion. Okay.
Yes, or some talk about the tot lot. One of the things I had a question about, and I know I asked this via email when I was away and haven't got through all the emails yet. The map that was drawn, the Legion is in the tot lot are both in that map area, right, where we don't need to do demographics.
I think they both are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought they were both in the map, I left it inside.
So I think this is,
Yeah, because I feel like that makes it just a little bit easier,
it
like,
was kind of like right on the line, so it's like in or out. And I'm not really a good map reader, but I think, and Shelby will remember, the part inside the black lines, right? Isn't that how we did it? Something.
Yes,
yeah.
within.
This one
the
has like
lines.
the roads on it, which makes it a little easier to see where we're at.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah,
I think that
like we're up.
the community center was just inside, whereas like
That's how I
town
remember
hall
it,
is.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, if this is,
Right.
Smith Street is that.
Yeah,
Like
in
the
this
tower?
map, Smith Street is in it, Bowditch is
I
in
don't
it.
think that 70,000 reach from community members is more of a reach than,
At the Legion.
no, at the tot lot. If you're halfway with 70, and you need another 70 for the total project, I think that's a larger reach for the community than they're capable of, knowing what I know
So
of
that
the
means we don't need to
graphics
do
and the pools of money.
What if
Correct.
what if the town,
Right.
Whereas if we were gonna do the police department, we'd have to start.
We're asking the community for 30, that would be the,
Usage.
Is the police department outside?
Yeah.
Isn't this-
we're talking about the town chipping it, this is 70 from,
And again, the wage range, believe it or not, that.
we're on, if we're prepared to kick in for the Legion, we would be prepared to kick in for the tot lot also.
The Shorewood,
so say 30, and when they got 30, so
Right.
60, plus you got
Baldwin,
this, is
Bowditch.
that enough to do the project?
All right, makes it that much easier.
Yeah,
150 is on the light side.
yeah, we, right, we don't have to, we're not limited to low to moderate income or seniors or people with disabilities, if they're within the map.
Yeah. That's good.
So Joe and I were talking behind your backs.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah, literally,
Is that,
yeah.
yeah.
Look, just knowing what I know, the community involvement, I could see the community supporting it at the 30 level, roughly.
For the tot lot.
If you're asking fire and Lions and a couple of other groups, right? So, if this project has how much in it, 70 or 60?
Yeah, what we,
What is the actual number?
we're
This
putting
is the 2026 one?
the one that we need for December 1st. I think I thought it was 70,000.
That's what I kind of.
Let's just use that, so say the community could come up with 30, I'm making up that number. Can the town do another 50, because Joe says 150 is on the light side? We have to find 50,000,
For the
top lot.
tot lot, okay.
Yeah, that should be a goal,
Because if Ken's saying 100, we only have to find 30 town-wise, we don't have to go for a community ask. That's why I was going toward the elevator concept. I don't know how real that 100 number is, as I think about us trying to install an elevator in an interior portion of a building and take out a stairwell.
Mhm.
So I have no feel for what that,
that's That's kind of the point I was trying to make is, there feels like there's vulnerabilities on that project that we can't really, it's a Goat Hill type situation
Yeah, I was gonna say,
where
once we open up a wall, we may.
you just may find other complications. That's not to say you shouldn't do the project, it just, the approach, we have to understand that, you know, in terms of the costs. And that's the type of project also that you can't stop. Once we,
Right, yeah.
once we start cutting holes, we're moving forward with it. But I don't think that the exposure is 100% over budget. But it would be, you know, a 30 to 40% contingency would be appropriate for that project. Whereas the tot lot budgeting, you know, you have the opportunity to scale back what you're doing if you're budget constrained, and you still get a new playground, you just maybe don't get as many pieces as you, or the surface or something like that. Was it 150 was a target that we were trying to hit for?
It would, I think it was anywhere from 150 to 250 was the range.
With the surface?
With the surface, yeah. That's only, you know, a partial, the surface wouldn't be for the whole area. It would be a combination of the surface and the kind of existing surface we use.
Right, there's some flexibility.
Right.
The surface isn't all accessible surface.
Yeah. All the surfaces are all, even the wood chips are accessible, but there's different types of surfaces that are better and.
Zero maintenance.
Zero maintenance and don't wear and last forever. Essentially, well, at least.
Barbara, I had in my notes that they allowed us to roll over $450.
Yeah, we can bring that.
So that's going towards Goat Hill. If we go under budget for Goat Hill, would there be potential for rollover
I
again?
think so, yeah, I think they like you to spend all the money, so I think they're agreeable to that.
And our ask right now is, I think, 70,000,
Yeah.
but they wanted us to definitely fund some more for cast. Or is that not a requirement?
I think, I mean, it's totally up to you how you want to spend the money. I mean, I think to be fair to CAST, it's one of those things, once you have a donation-based activity, they start to depend on your $5,000 or $10,000. If you've done it for 2 years in a row, it's kind of expected. So I think for 2 years now, we've given them $5,000.
Yeah, I have in my notes 10,000, that the county upped it to 10,000 for the 2025, you know, the grant cycle that's.
Well, yeah, we were also gonna, that was including the deer butchering and the freezer for them down there.
Yeah. Yeah, 10,000 for cast.
I mean, probably something like $5,000 for them is a lot of money, as opposed to $5,000 somewhere else where it's a drop.
So it would be a $65,000.
I mean, again, she always says you can ask for more. I mean, there've been times when she's taken away or she's given us more, depending on what happens at the federal level to the county level.
My reluctancy with the tot lot is, I think if you're gonna put that kind of money into a surface, that the surface is gonna be built around the structures that are there. I think the structures, I think it needs a total facelift.
That's what this is.
Are we able
It includes structures,
Oh, yeah, no.
Total rebuild.
That's what I'm talking, it'll be
Great.
removal of the structure
the
too.
wall of the structures, new structures.
Clean slate.
Yeah, yeah,
Clean slate.
yeah. I mean, we might keep the swings, but like
Right,
everything,
yeah,
the
they
main
they might be
structure that's
outside
there.
the flooring anyways.
Right, the main structure that you see now would be replaced with something new, and then that would be the area that the surface would cover underneath the main structure, and then the peripheral structures that are out there, the bouncy things and stuff they got, that could be with the engineered wood chip stuff again, like a combo, way I see it.
Yeah, and that reiterating again that there is flexibility to change. You want new swings, the budget allows, you get new swings. We don't have the budget, we're painting the swing set and replacing the seats.
I mean, and I will say a benefit of the equipment side of it is both of the companies that we've spoken to about this stuff all they're all part of the state bidding process too. So it comes off of a state bid and you're getting the things at discounted numbers than you would normally get. You know what I mean? They're cheaper because they're all coming off state bid.
And they do the whole process, soup to nuts. They design it,
Right,
supply it, and erect it.
right.
I'd probably lean towards that now, knowing that it's a full redo, because it needs it. I think the use is pretty high there on the weekends, definitely, and after school. Community center project, I feel like, has a lot of unknowns. I think we need to lock in a number to understand that.
Yeah, and I think what Joe brings up too, I think is also a fair point about the Legion, because it's a little bit of the same older building, you know.
Well, we have the foundation wall issues down there, for
Right.
instance.
You know, on the other side, so,
Yeah, we
it
push
just-
this through another year, it gives you time to do some investigation.
It might be worth rolling it into some other things that need to be done at the Legion as well.
I'd like to see us double our request to the county to like 120 to 140 for
Yeah,
this project.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so if we got 150, how much has been raised by the community so far?
I don't know if anything, I don't know what's been raised by the community, if anything, for sure, but I've spoken
For
to
the top
three.
lot?
Oh, I don't think any.
I don't think anybody's been raised, but I've spoken to three people who are very, and have connections to people that they're like, yeah, we can
From
fundraise for it.
that's the only project that people have approached me about in terms of something, you know, a community-led effort. I don't, has anybody else reached out to you, Ken, about other?
No, I mean, other than Shelby has mentioned the Legion all to me.
But it would be nice.
Which is good, it's a worthwhile thing, I'm not saying it's not, but I do.
We got, I'll say 120 from the grant, say 30 from the town, and another 30 to 50 from the community. If there's good funding sources out there, I think you could have a night, it could be.
That is a project vulnerability, though, is that we're going into a project like the Tot Lot, knowing that you don't have all of the funds. And I'm not, if that impacts our ability to commit them.
I think at the 120 request, if we got that, the town could find 30. And then we're at 150 at the low end of the scale, and you do what you can at that. The more the community raises,
Right.
can be highlighted, that the better the project, quote unquote.
Change the grant, up the grant request.
Yeah, I went up the grant to
I
120.
would agree with trying to up the grant.
That changes all of our approaches, though. If you up it to 120, we could revisit some of these other
The
projects.
elevator is such an unknown for us right now.
I don't feel that uncomfortable with it I didn't recognize that the grant request could be doubled or something like that.
I don't know if we'll get it,
I don't know
but
if we'll get it.
I feel pretty good about the elevator at 120.
at 120?
So Ken, just play that whole thing out for me. You have to come into the main floor of the building to get downstairs in the elevator.
No, you have to come in, well, really, it's like the second tier. I mean, because, you know, you come in the main floor of the building, it depends what you want to do. If you take out both staircases, then you can come in at the main floor of the building and you can come in at the side entry level of the building.
And we're trying to benefit the people going to the lower level, right?
Right, so
So
they
we
can,
want the easiest way to get there from externally.
I would say externally, the easiest way is to open the west-facing door, go right in at that level to either your.
Elevator shaft?
Yeah, whatever they call it, a platform lift, or if it's an actual elevator that takes you down.
And where do you get out downstairs?
You would get out, it would come out
By the
right,
bowling alley? But
yeah, by the bowling alley, yeah. You know, but on the west side of the building there. I guess it's sort of northwest.
Because it's not really needed to do anything on the first floor, so I
No,
don't want
because
to, I don't want to complicate it for people getting in and out.
No, because we already have handicap access
Right.
on the first floor, but all I'm saying is that the unknown, again, I don't know what happens to the staircase the way it exists. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard, you'd have to look at it, because the staircase as it exists from the main floor down to that level may not be centered, you know, might be out of the way of or in the way of the door. So that might mean you might have to take out both staircases in order to center this thing in the middle, which now requires additional framing, I mean, there's some things in there to look at. I'm not saying, it's certainly not impossible, but.
What would do an exterior lift?
An exterior, you couldn't do an
And you're gonna
exterior.
carve out part of the parking lot.
You'd have to, yeah.
Yeah.
Forget it, that would be, there's nothing to dig up out there anyway. No way. And then you're punching a hole in the side of the building that's
Yeah.
already structurally probably not great.
It's not working for you anyway.
Right, so. That's,
Did the people that you talked to about Goat Hill, did they look at the Legion?
no, I didn't take them in there.
I'm
I just
good,
got
I'm
it.
good
I
with
was
either project. I think they have to make, ultimately make the decision and let her know by session today.
It's a committee decision, no?
Well, it's a committee.
Well, sometimes they also ask, like, especially if you're gonna ask for more money,
Mhm.
how many people will be benefited by this project?
I think you're gonna have more of the senior community benefited
Oh,
by
yeah.
the elevator project and probably more children. Yeah.
There are not gonna be any seniors benefited at the tot lot.
Oh, not necessarily, I think, because I consider, I bring.
Takers, well, that's why I was saying about the accessibility angle on this is for the custodian and the child, it's
Yes,
not just one, you know?
there's ton, actually, the people requesting to you are probably senior citizens for
Yes.
their children,
Yes,
grandchildren.
all of, yes, mostly.
Right, so
I would,
I'm good with either
if
project.
we're voting on it, I would think the top lot would be my way to go right now. I think it just says, I've already got one albatross around my neck, I'm not taking another. So I just think, I'm just looking at it like, cause I'm just envisioning it inside there. Like, I don't think the mechanical part of this is expensive. I think what could be expensive is when we start removing a staircase, we still have to structurally, hold up another staircase. You have to, you're gonna have to be sheetrocking everything. We also have to make sure that I think the chief brings up a reasonable point. We have to make sure that those two egresses are actually proper egresses, because they're pretty close to each other. I mean,
Yes.
you have a fire in the one end of the building, on that end of the building,
Mhm.
and you only get, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them's in the kitchen, so, you know what I'm saying? You only got, it really is, it's in the
It
back
is,
room of
yeah.
the kitchen. So I'm just saying, I don't know, I'm not the fire marshal, but they might say, hey, you gotta have one opposite. I don't know, I'm just saying, there's a potential.
For my vote, I'm totally good with the tot lot. I'd like to see us double the request and move on.
Just a side
Me too.
note, we don't have active leads for the tot lot. So that might.
Excellent, side note.
The lease was set to renew, but then expires after like 10 years or something.
It is, and we're working on it, we've been working on it for quite a while, but it's, for school, it's not a priority.
Is that a grant condition that we own the property?
I don't know,
It's owned by another.
No,
I think with the parks, with the state it was.
we could get grant funding, you can get 50% grant funding from the parks if, under its current situation with us, even, let's just say we become the leaseholder again for $1, we pay another $1 for the next 20 years, or whatever it is. If we, under that circumstance, we can. We can't get 100% funding. There were 100% grant opportunities
Yeah, but
available.
this is, we're talking about community development block grant. We're not talking about Parks and Rec.
But if we
Okay,
need more
but,
money, we
but,
can go there.
but you need more money and they require ownership, we don't own it.
But they-
What's the holdup on the lease? What's the holdup?
Administrative, it's just from the school board.
Yeah. It seems like it can get done quick, but it's not, because it goes
'Cause they have to talk
our
to the
attorney, then it goes
State
to
Board of
school,
Ed, it's,
and
you know.
go through
They're in a
their
favor-
school board,
they're in
through their
favor of it.
attorneys.
I mean, I talked to Brian Dolger about it and then Kathy Lynch, they're both in favor of it,
Yeah.
it's no big, but they have to put it through their school attorney and their, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see us having a problem.
I don't think that, no.
So I don't want that.
And maybe if it comes up, we just can get a letter from them that.
Yeah, they're in the process.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say, Barbara, what do we need for the December 1st description, the filing of this? We'll need the resolution from today.
Right, and it can be broad, like, a lot of times we would just say handicap accessibility to town-owned buildings. It's broad, you don't have to specify. So, I mean, you could say upgrades to
handicap
Recreation,
accessibility.
town recreation facility.
I think you
It's
got, I
not-
think you gotta add
It's not
a,
the town. Yeah.
and also, I think it's important to add in the language, add the handicap accessibility.
Mhm.
Because the surfacing will make it more handicap access anyway.
And I think we can describe the usage a little bit.
Mhm.
Sure. People that use it or need access to it.
Well, it's also within their map too.
Yeah, we don't have to pick an handicapped
Mhm.
project. Because that's the cool thing about this map this year, that we can pick projects in that map. And they
Oh,
don't have
great.
to do with handicapped
If
accessibility.
it doesn't give us any more juice to say handicap accessible, then just
I
say
think
that
we
we'll.
probably-
And so basically, you can
Build
build
it
it
up.
and just upgrade the top lot. And not have to focus on handicapped accessibility.
Yeah,
Of
that's
course,
fine,
I wanna
if
include
they'll
it.
take it, that's good by me.
And how about we ask for 100,000 towards it this year?
Great.
Sure.
Because it's not a huge, it's like a 50% ask, increase.
And we did sign a contract that we're gonna give 10 to Cast
Okay.
out of the 2026.
Wouldn't there be an issue that we held a public hearing for 70 only?
Go 110 then. Go 110 on the ask.
Yeah, so we have 100 towards this.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters,
So, Christina,
because we've had the dollar amount change from.
Client hasn't signed it yet. That we had a public hearing for 70,000.
we had a public hearing already for 70,000.
But I don't think it matters because, we've had years where they've come back and told us, we're giving you an extra $5,000. Because they had money and so they said you can support Cast.
Okay, I was gonna fight us on more money.
I don't think so either. Okay, all right. Playground, $110,000 ask, 100,000 for the tot lot, 10,000 for Cast. And the contract,
Okay,
the contract for Cast, I think, is for this year, isn't it? It's not for next year.
She said
This one
26.
is, their year goes from September, so it's from September 25
Yes,
to,
August 31st, 2026.
yeah.
Yeah, so that one
27.
is, yeah, so that one
Yeah,
is.
it's actually September
10,000.
125 to August 31, 27.
Yeah, so that one we don't have a contract for yet.
The Cast one, no, we did sign a contract with Cast.
I always use that high because it covers 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Shared community projects are great. If the town puts up some money, the community puts up some money, and we get grant money, those are the
Yeah,
best
we can
projects.
apply for,
What were the final numbers? Cast 5,000, tot lot.
well, no, it sounds like Cast 10,000.
10,000.
Very visual.
About 100.
Yeah, and 100,000 for the
Right
top.
out front.
Front's colorful.
All of
Full.
And,
Barb's, the cast contract you have is for 2 years?
The contract with the town and Cast.
Right, is,
But I do think the overall contract extends within the 2 years. Yeah, September 125 to August 31, 27.
yeah. What was that last time?
yeah, but isn't the,
yeah, I was gonna say, is that 5 and 5 then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I suppose we could do it as 5 and 5.
yeah, so
oh, it is.
it's not like we increased to 10,000, it's just 2 years.
So it says here, this is the money your municipality will receive if Suffolk County receives the same grant allocation. So it all depends on what HUD sends out.
I would say 105 and 5 for Cast.
I think our ask is just 105 for the project, of which we give, we don't
Yeah. So we
break
can
it
do,
down.
yeah. Because we've historically been getting 5, it's just because the county had extra money, we upped it to 10 this year.
Okay.
So what do you want me to tell her we're asking for? 100 plus 10 or
No, 105.
5 plus 5.
100 plus 5?
These kids having fun.
We have 5 plus 5.
Is that the brochure?
Yeah, and then the total project cost, we think is between 150 and,
250.
150 and 250.
Blows your mind from the playground.
I pulled the existing one for 35,000.
Yeah.
Well, the surface is a
But you
big,
never put a surface in
We
it.
did, yeah.
That's a huge.
That was also 30.
It was 30 years ago, or maybe not
Need some
quite.
shade in
Ivy's
there, too.
31, and so she was
Yeah, so it's 25 years
29,
ago.
29,
Yeah,
29 years.
the surfaces get hot
Yeah.
in the
it
summer.
gets a lot, it gets very,
Yeah, so we may want to put in the wording
Come out of it.
that, you know,
you're hooking them up.
Yeah.
additional funding to
He's got
come from
growth.
community and more New York State parks grants to be applied for.
Town,
But
town.
what about the town?
I believe town tax dollars should support it too. Somehow.
Yeah, no, we'll take a look at.
It's a lot easier to go back to the community for me when we say, look, the town's getting a grant for 100, rounding it, and the town's gonna commit 30 to the project. We'd like the community to match the 30, so to speak. And we also have a chance at Parks and Rec.
Yeah. I just, whenever we put in for a resolution, we're supposed to, like, this is what the project costs.
Right.
This is what our funding sources are.
And we don't have a true funding source for the town.
Yeah,
Isn't there like a little, like, in a resolution, when you put the total cost of 100, between 150 and 250, like, isn't it a little, like, too wide of a gap to close? You know, like,
Well, it's
we're not
just-
looking for additional 30,000, we're looking for additional 100,000, 150.
Well, it's the scope.
Because it can be broadened
yeah, we may,
to a level that the community might want to support, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we may end up reducing
in
this.
case she doesn't authorize or say, no, we can't give you more money now, we're already into this budget thing. You wanna have a backup? In case she's not gonna, I mean, I'll go and email her right now or call her, but in case.
No, I think
she
if
says
we,
can't give
listen,
you
even if they
more,
won't fund it, if they won't fund it to 100, they're still gonna give us 70. I say we still go with it. We'll work out the remaining 70.
Yeah, we'll just scale the project back.
So stick
Both
with
ways.
it regardless of the.
I say stick with it.
Barbara, we have high expectations, especially out of you.
The poor people who work for the federal government weren't paid for a month. This money comes from the feds and filters down.
Barbara,
That's the lowest end of the
we
down.
have very high expectations from you.
I hope they were gonna get paid once they
Well,
reopened.
again, give me a number when we say, she says how many people are expected to benefit by this, how many do
A
you?
lot.
Well, that's where I was hoping we would be able to pull in the.
Oh, I think you could say easily 50 people a day.
Yeah, if you include the caretakers,
The caretakers and the kids, you could easily say 50 people a day,
Do-
times
do
360.
people
Yeah,
Go and use it.
100%.
All right.
All the time.
And also, it's in the map area,
Yeah,
therefore I thought we had less
Yeah,
requirements.
if you're in the map area, you don't have to get the, it's not as big.
right, but I just want to be prepared
Yes.
if she asks me these
Yes.
things.
pump it up.
it's also full,
Come on.
it crosses demographics.
It's Rosemary, right?
It's not just,
Yes, bring her in.
It's Rosemary, isn't it?
Invite her out for lunch and let's show it to
I'll
her.
talk to her. I'll be
Yeah.
happy communicating with her all week. I'll be happy to tell her.
And
don't worry.
are you still going forward with the Goat Hill thing?
Yes.
You're gonna, okay.
Yes.
if the project crosses demographics and the beneficiaries, it's both the young population, old population, seasonal, transient, year-rounders.
In the summertime, it could be 100 people a day in there.
It's also complementary to the fields adjacent, so sometimes, it's an accessory to other events that are
Yeah, the Bucks
that are
games.
happening, yeah.
Absolutely. There's a high school baseball game there and it's
Kids hang out at the playground.
hanging out of the park. Yep.
Spoken like a true trustee, Joe.
10K.
And parent,
That's true.
and parent, who knows where every playground is in town. For an emergency stop.
Me too.
This guy flexing.
And grandparents, right? Full
I
spectrum.
know all of them in South Albany Cut Yard.
Do they, is there a porta potty on the field?
Yes.
Yes.
There
Yes,
is.
there is.
But it's not, we don't maintain that, do we?
No, the school does.
But there is
Yes,
a.
there's something there.
Something if somebody needs.
You're getting into too many of the details, Christine. We just need to know that it's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
I just need to know that there's.
It's there.
Yes.
That's all we gotta know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Next.
that's it. That was it for the agenda day.
Full agenda.
Okay, so that's what you'll put through and you'll approve it at the meeting and then I'll send it to them in December.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, good. Thank you.
and we put the, when we did the public notices, like we just said, that the town is looking for ideas for a project with CDBG funds.
We already done that.
So that'll work too.
right?
What?
We already done that.
Yeah, when we did the public notice, it was
Yes.
just general for ideas.
Yes.
And now this is our idea. Okay.
Yes, yeah, nobody spoke.
Joe got some feedback on people looking for,
No, at the public hearing.
oh, at the public.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, thank you,
all
Barbara.
right, you're welcome.
All right, that's it. Well, we can close the meeting. Thank you, everybody.